Welcome to Malmö, in the southern tip of Sweden, just over the water from Copenhagen and Denmark. It's home to 350,000 people, used to be an industrial city, but has now reinvented itself to be a modern, thriving cosmopolitan city. So, let's not waste any time, let's go explore. So it's a bit cloudy now, but the forecast says it should get sunny as we go into the afternoon. The plan is we're going to have a wander around the old town and then visit the city parks and then head into the newer areas and the beach. Maybe we'll even be able to see Copenhagen and the Øresund Bridge. So when the rest of Europe in 1914 were beginning World War I, here they were building this bridge. Let's go over it. It's a Sunday morning, so let's see how busy or quiet the city is. So this is St. Petri Church, 700 years old, and apparently the oldest building in Malmö, according to Google at least. We're now coming into Stortorget, which is the largest and oldest square in Malmö. Behind me is a statue of King Carl Gustaf, who in 1658 was the King of Sweden, when this area of southern Sweden transferred from being Danish to Swedish. These sculptures here are called the Optimistic Orchestra. There's quite a few people around on the Sunday morning, and it looks like the majority of the shops are open. This is Lilla Torg, or the Little Square. Lots of old traditional buildings, and looks like lots of restaurants and bars in this area as well. Looks like the sun is coming out now. Some very colourful street art on these buildings here. And this one over here as well. Now we're at Gustav Adolf Square, which is named after the King of Sweden during the late 1700s, early 1800s. The sun has also really come out now. I think soon I need to change into my sunglasses. Not really sure what to make of this. Is it a bird or a dragon? Or a combination of the two? The Disgusting Food Museum. That could be a interesting place. I wonder if you have to taste the exhibits in there. There's that dragon again. That's actually a fair point. So we've reached the other end of the city centre from where we started now. This here is called the Triangulen Torg, which would be the Triangle Square. Behind me is the St. John's Church, Built in the early 1900s, so just over 100 years old. Much newer than the church we saw earlier. Some modern art here. So we've seen most of the city centre area now. We're going to walk towards the parks and have a look around there. This is the Malmö Opera House behind me. Here's another bridge from 1914. Seems like it was a busy year for bridges. And then here we have Slottsparken, one of the main parks in Malmö. And we're going to have a walk around that now. Seems like a really nice and calm park so far. You can see in the distance there this big white tall building. It's called the Turning Torso. We're going to go see that later. There's this big windmill here in the park. It's giving me vibes from the Netherlands a bit. Here we're looking at the Malmöhus Castle, surrounded by its moat. I believe it's possible to go inside, have a look around, but it's not something we really have time for today, unfortunately. Then you can also see the circus is in town at the moment. And now we're around the front of the castle. I'm not sure what this is exactly, but it looks like a fish market. But it's all closed, a bit random. Maybe it's something which is open in the summer when there's more tourists here, I'm not sure. I can see now by the fish market there's a sign where it says it's open from Tuesday to Saturday mornings. So that might explain why it was totally empty today. Just taking a rest here, and these two ducks have come and walked over. They think I might have some food, but they're going to be very disappointed. I don't have anything for them. Sorry. So that was the park areas. We're now heading towards the waterfront, and I think there's some beaches there. Behind here is a dog park where you're allowed to let your dogs run free, have a run around. Lots of happy dogs here, competing over whatever they're catching. I can see why bikes are so popular in the city. It's really quite flat and there's so many cycling paths and really good infrastructure. Maybe you have to come back here and do a cycle day and explore the area by cycle. Let's see what's down here. So this here is one of the many piers along this beach. This one's a bit different in that it's got a cafe and a cold water swimming area at the end. You can also see the Öresund Bridge in the distance there. This is the bridge that connects Sweden to Denmark. It's 16 kilometers between Malmö and Copenhagen. And then the bridge is 8 kilometers long, and then there's a small artificial island, and then a tunnel which completes it. And then looking in the other direction from the Öresund Bridge, we can see this beach, and towards the end of it there's the Twisting Torso Tower, the big tall white tower. It's primarily a residential tower, and it has a unique design in that it twists as it gets higher. We'll go and have a closer look at it later, but I think you sort of can appreciate the design of it from a distance. It's a nice beach, but I think I preferred the beaches in Spain. The dogs are also allowed to swim on the beach here. It's very nice and inclusive. It's just about possible to see Copenhagen in the distance over the water. I'll try and get a video to show it. Can just about make out some of the buildings of Copenhagen in the distance there. We're now coming into the western harbour area of Malmö, which formerly was the shipyard, but has now been made into a new residential and business area. Just over this bridge here. It's not all apartment buildings here, there's also some houseboats. We just took a quick stop for a coffee break, and in that time the sun seems to have disappeared and the clouds are covering the sky. Walking along the promenade of the Western Harbour now. From here, although we're further from the Øresund Bridge than we were before, we get a very nice view. If I zoom in a bit, you can even see the traffic moving across the bridge. These apartments along here must be really nice on a summer's day. Views would be amazing. Starting to get really quite windy as well. I think it's time to head away from the water now. Just coming away from the water and between these buildings here, and the wind has calmed down so much. Feels a lot warmer already. This seems like a really nice area. Lots of open spaces and water between all of the apartments. We're now stood near the bottom of the Twisting Torso building, and you can clearly see how it twists as it gets higher. And then the building has a very shallow moat around it. And here we get a view of the building from the other side. So now we're going to start heading back in the direction of the central station where we started from today. Can feel a few drops of rain falling. That wasn't on the plan for today. Can see here some of the industrial history of this area. Should just be 5-10 minutes of rain, and then it will be dry afterwards, so seeking shelter, hoping it will pass. 10 minutes in the shelter. We're gonna keep going now. Hopefully the rain has passed and won't come back. Still some development going on in this area. It's not finished yet. This is quite an interesting sculpture here. Down here is the pier from where the canal tour boats would go from. I assume they're only running in the summer months. Not far from the central station now. So here we are back at the central station, near to where we started this morning. It's been a really nice day exploring Malmö. I'm really positively surprised actually. There's a lot here, a lot to see and do. I think sometimes Malmö gets some negative media coverage. There's some challenges with gangs and crime, but I think that's maybe a bit of an unfair characterization of the whole city. Yeah, I really enjoyed the time here and definitely will come back again. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Please give the video a like if you did, and if you subscribe you can see where we go next.